And again, Steve, it's a disgrace.
Well, okay, Jim, well, how could we fix this? I mean, is there a remedy to this? I mean, they're a huge outfit. They're one of the largest organizations in the federal government. Is there a way that we could fix this? Or?
Unfortunately, roadblocks had been in place, and I say a roadblock, which have now grown into walls. The only way to fix this problem, as we see it, is to completely, number one, to have an investigation, but a swift investigation, and to immediately dismantle the Office of Personnel Management. It's quite obvious that USA Jobs is not working. I speak to veterans at veterans clinics on the outside, and every time I mention this, a new story pops up for me. They've gone through this. The only way to fix it is to completely dismantle it, start from the ground floor, build up this program, rebuild it, and to get rid of the staff, the hierarchy that has allowed this to pervade this organization. Because if you leave one individual in place, it's like a cancer. It's a disease. It will continue to grow and grow and grow. You don't need that. You need to remove the problems and start anew.
I see.
It sounds like a task that could not be completed, but we can do this. We need to take the first step. The president needs to be involved in this directly. Veterans groups need to be involved in this. Our congressmen, our people from Congress, our senators, need to be involved in this. Do you know most of them don't even know that this problem exists? That's alarming.
Yeah, that is definitely alarming.
That's alarming.
Yeah.
And if they do know, and they're not doing anything about it, then they're part of the problem. And you know what? Shame on them. And I'm not afraid to say that. If you're not going to do anything to fix it, then you're part of the problem.
Well, when it comes time for re-election, I guess that will be the time that, as a group, we can let them know.
And we're not threatening anybody, but to let the members of Congress know, vets vote.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, no one's going to take care of a veteran except a veteran.
Right.
We've served, our brothers and sisters, we've served, we've been proud to serve, and we've done it to defend this nation. Well, at least we want a fair shake here. And if we're qualified, we would like that position.
I see.
And I'll be honest with you, that's why we're moving ahead with this interview today. And we've started a blog out there right now. We've been tweeting out there. We're using all resources. Actually, the blog we is vets OPM issues.blogspot.com. And we would like any veteran who's having this problem, any family member of a veteran that's having this problem, please go on there, read our posts, and post a comment. Because we do read them. We're not like OPM. We actually do go in there and we read them. And it's an awful thing to say, but it's true. It's true.
Okay, Jim, what's your understanding of the VRA?
The Veterans Readjustment Act started under President Carter. A great thing, it was able to give veterans, especially returning veterans from Vietnam, that leg up for federal hiring, and also disabled veterans. It sort of lay dormant in the 90s, 1999. During President Reagan's term, he sort of resurrected it. But now, even though we see it on some of these job applications, the VRA, it's not being adhered to. Just like the 30% veteran is not being adhered to, 30% or more. Because, do you know, across this nation, we have anywhere from 19 to 26% of the veteran community unemployed.
Wow.
Unemployed. And they say that could be higher.
Yeah.
Those are conservative estimates. Here in the state of New Jersey, we have over 5,500 homeless veterans who have served this nation. And you know what? Everybody says, oh, a homeless vet, they don't want to work. Yes, they do. A lot of these people are educated individuals that have lost their jobs. They've fallen on hard times. They couldn't make payments on their homes or their apartments. And this is where they are. And now it compounds the problem, because now they don't have the resources to apply. They want to work. They have the education. They have the experience. But again, they're being cast aside. They're being tabbed as undesirable. And you know what? That's a disgrace.
That is a
Especially
disgrace.
with somebody like me that has served, and my brothers and sisters. I mean, like I said, with these files, and I have tons more of these from youngsters. I had one contacting us, young gal, Army reservist. She may be losing her apartment because she keeps being told she's overqualified and can't get a job. Now she can't even put a roof over her head. She may have to go to a shelter. That's a disgrace. Utter disgrace.
Okay, well, we're going to have more segments of this issue, and we are the watchdogs of this new vets OPM issues. So I want to do more of these segments in the future, and I want to thank you, Jim, for coming down and expanding on this problem, and hopefully with all of us we could fix it with our congressmen, with our senators and local officials. We can all come together and hopefully repair this, like you say, this dismantle. We could dismantle them and repair all this what's been going on.
Steve, absolutely. And you know what? We need to bring accountability to the Office of Personnel Management. That's what we need also. There's no accountability. Individuals are running rampant.
I agree. From what you've been telling us, there is no accountability.
None whatsoever. People are just running around willy-nilly. People are being hired. I mean, I've gone to some locations, and and I've asked, and I know that a lot of people through like certain systems and certain agencies are not veterans. And the big question is, we have homeless veterans out there. We have veterans out there every day trying to get jobs. Yet we have a ton of people here being employed who are non-vets. What's the matter with this?
So they're hiring non-vets over veterans.
Absolutely, because like I said, they're not qualifying the vet. Because if you're not qualified, you can't use your veteran's preference. Do you see how they work it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's how they work it.
Unbelievable.
You can send 50 pieces of information, documentation, but if 2 or 3 of the key pieces happen to not make it to the human resources reviewer, you get an email back saying, don't reply to this, you have not been qualified for the position, after spending 8, 10, 12 hours putting together your application and being diligent. And I just want to let you know that we have been in contact with freshman Congressman Michael Grimm from Staten Island, and one of his liaisons, I think his name is Mark Velasquez, and he's a former combat Marine. And we had a nice conversation with him. We're trying to put something together with Congressman Grimm. We've also, down here in South Jersey, been in contact with, again, freshman Congressman John Runyon's office, and they're investigating this. Oh. And just to let you know,
it's good to hear that. Yeah,
we have some applications that have been routed for their review, because if it walks and talks, then it is. Okay,
that's good. Let me ask you, Jim, in your opinion, do you think this will have a long-term effect on the men and women joining our forces? Do you think on recruitment? Do you think this will affect?
To be honest with you, if this continues and remains unchecked, and if the office continues to operate in this fashion, it will have a detrimental effect, and I'll tell you why. Many of the individuals coming into the military, they want to defend their nation, they want to serve, and they're being told by recruiters, and I'll let you know, I did recruiting for 6 years, also corporate recruiting. They're being told that when they come into the military, they're going to have their military education, utilize any additional education they can get through partnerships with colleges while they're in the military, so that when they transition out, if they don't stay in the military as a career, they can move directly into a corporate position. It's not happening. It's not happening at all. And what's going to happen, people are going to smarten up and say, well, wait a minute. I should just, instead of going in the military, just go to technical school or college, learn a trade, get my degree now, and just move into corporate world instead of, having that 4 to 5 year lapse and then have to try and get my degree or my additional training. You see what's going to happen? It's going to reduce the recruiting efforts. All because, and I hate to say this, we have bozos in the Office of Personnel Management that are running rampant and, like I said, doing whatever they want.
Wow.
Yeah, and this can happen. This can happen. Because you know what? Our youngsters today, these are smart kids. Smart young men and women coming into the military. And they're going to look at this and say, what's the matter with this? I was told this, and I thought I'd be able to use my skills. And let me just tell you, highly developed skills. That's another thing. Corporate America shortchanges veterans on the skills that they learn in the military. Let me tell you something. Skills learned as far as leadership, technical skills, coupled with any additional education, far outweighs what someone can get. And I say, there's nothing the matter with degrees and higher education, but just sitting in a classroom and gaining no experience. Because let me tell you something. I've hired many people, worked with many people that have multiple degrees, but they have no experience. They don't know how to work with people. They're not leaders. And you know what? If you're going to work in corporate America, you better be a leader.
Well, again, I want to thank you, Jim, for coming in today, and we will expound on this even more in future segments. And we are watchdogs for veterans, and we served, so we are now serving you. Okay, have a nice day. That'll be it.